Hey, what's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate Tour Reviews. If you've seen my previous video, as in this one, where I compared xlock versus not xlock, just a regular grinder, I'm not really too big of xlock grinders. I think it's a really dumb design that I know Bosch made it in conjunction with Makita doing it, and basically it's going to be a quick connect change for grinding discs. Now, my big question is, how xlock works is basically you take this lever here, you pull that up, that's how you release the disc, and then put a new disc on. All you got to do is just line this thing up and you push, it snaps in. Very simple. Of course, now to get the disc out, you just lift that lever, bam, that is it. Super simple. But here's the terrible thing, is that you can't use a regular disc on xlock grinders. And I'm surprised, why wouldn't they just design this little system here to use regular discs? It seems so silly to me. For what they did here already, they could have just made this, work with this. I mean, I almost was like tempted to start grinding off some of these things here to just try to make it happen, but that's not going to work, I don't think. But honestly, it's such a dumb design in my opinion. A lot of people are going to say, well, it's worth it because it's great for quick change stuff, and I can change disc very quickly. Fantastic. But xlock stuff I can't find it for that cheap. And some people say, yeah, they can find theirs, but I always pick up the deals when I can find them, and the xlock stuff is never deals. I'm not going to buy a whole new type of grinding disc just to use it with xlock when you can use xlock discs on regular grinders. So kind of silly there, but I might have a solution here for you. I found this, and thank you to this comment on a previous video I didn't even know this existed. And this is going to be an xlock adapter. Now, bear with me for a second here, because I know this sounds ridiculous. Why am I buying an adapter for a grinder to make it work like a normal grinder? It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I will say, I got this xlock grinder on sale. It was a buy one, get one. Basically, it was buy 2 4-amp-hour batteries and a charger for 180 bucks. One of the free tools was a xlock grinder from Makita. Fantastic deal for 180 bucks, because these things are like, 160 bucks by themselves already. So I really needed a new Makita grinder. And I'm like, you know what? I will go the xlock route and try one of these. I'll throw a link in the description if you want to check this out. Basically, they're like 20, 25 bucks or so on Amazon, and it's going to be basically a xlock kind of style in here. This then just goes on in here and clips in. Now check this out. It's basically now a regular grinder. I can now throw on a regular disc here, and I am good to go. So that's kind of cool, actually. Now there are some downsides. I was reading different reviews on this, and looking around like, hey, some of the stuff that people didn't like. First thing off is there's no spindle lock on xlock grinders. So you gotta kind of do this on your own a bit here. Kind of hold down the bottom base of that and try to get that on. And I mean, that's about what I can do there. But now this is a regular grinder here with xlock. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, you got to spend some extra money, $20 more to be able to do that. But still pretty cool, though, being able to use xlock with a regular grinding disc. There's also another pro to this, although expensive, is that it turns regular grinding discs into quick connect xlock discs. So I can detach that and now just reattach that to my grinder. I can use it with any disc I've got. So I got xlock. I can mix now into the fray here non-xlock discs that I can convert to xlock. So interesting there. That's kind of cool that you can take a regular disc now and make it xlock. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So like this, I can just snap this back on here and bam, I'm good to go. Some concerns though that I found is that sometimes people got these in and they weren't sitting flush. Mine sits perfectly flush. I've got no wiggle, no play in this thing at all. That is fantastic. Exactly what I want that to be. I don't want any wiggle, any play in there. Second problem is that this shield now does not cover this. So that might be an issue. I definitely like to put safety first, and I might try to find a bigger shield for the xlock grinders, because now you're getting about, what is that, maybe half an inch, 3/4 of an inch now of, pushing out. It looks like a wheel spacer in there now. So that's another issue there. And then of course the third issue is there's no spindle lock, so you've got no way to actually really tighten this down, because with xlock, you don't need to tighten anything down. So that's going to be your other downside there. So I'm definitely going to try this thing out, see how I like it. I mean, it works like a regular grinder now. So that's the thing. It's not like there's anything like you're changing dramatically. You're not trying to, hack this to work. This is a pretty solid piece here, and I would definitely say that, that's going to hold up. I can't see that small piece in here really failing. It feels like it is a very solid, very heavy-duty piece in there. So I will say, definitely buy one of these, buy one with quality. And I've seen a few people buy these, but they don't include the nut on that. So make sure you buy it with the nut in there. Definitely make sure you got that. Kind of interesting there. Has xlock redeemed itself by making it work like a regular grinder? I don't know. I mean, but the thing is, a regular grinder works with both these discs without an adapter. That's the thing. That's what makes this ridiculous. Xlock is trying to reinvent the wheel here to save some convenience. I've got no problem swapping out, my discs here with a little wrench on my grinder. It works fine. I mean, if you really need to go quick, I just buy two grinders to have two for working with different discs. Honestly, that's what I would do myself if I needed to. Was working all day on grinders. That's easy solution there. Just buy a second one. Put your grinding disc you got on that one. Put a cutting disc on the other one. You're good to go. So it's an interesting solution, honestly. It kind of something to think about there if that would work for you. Because now I can, of course, use regular discs here. I really only use one at a time. I really don't have much use for using multiples. I mostly use like cutting discs, couple grinding discs for small stuff here and there. So for me, this will work out fine. I just want another good deal on a Makita grinder, and xlock is interesting. So guys, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check out this xlock adapter. Coming M14, and of course the 5/8 as well. I just went to 5/8, just simple, easy to use there. But cool deal on Makita. Makita has not been having a lot of deals this year. I think this is like the only new Makita tool I bought this year, and I try to cover as much Makita stuff as I possibly can. They just have not had a lot of deals this year at Home Depot. It's been really, really sad. I'm like, Makita, come on, give me more deals. And they just haven't been getting more deals out at all. But really cool to cover, a new xlock grinder. This little adapter here is a game changer. And the last point I want to make is, why doesn't Makita just make this adapter? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, just throw this in the box. This would be a huge game changer. They came out with this right away, that they had an adapter. Secondly, they should have just made xlock compatible with regular discs. Why would you make an xlock disc that's compatible with regular grinders, but just make them all the same? Don't make me buy a special disc for this. This is so dumb, in my opinion. I can't believe they did this, and they're still kind of going, full speed at it too. But these xlock grinders, I mean, they are on clearance all the time. So you can find a generally good deal on xlock here pretty quick. But guys, that's my 2 cents in this matter. I wish they just made this adapter. It would be a lot of, frustration out the window if they just did that. You can use regular discs with xlock. And also they could, kind of promote it as like, hey, here's a quick connect adapter as an option for xlock. This is sweet. It just, boom, right back in there. There we go. I'm ready to go grinding again. Easy. And then, of course, you can buy just the xlock discs by themselves. So I don't know why Makita hasn't done this yet. I don't know why no one else has thought of this yet other than finding it on Amazon, which is like, come on, this makes sense now. But if you do this, remember there's 3 issues with this. No spindle lock. You get a little bit more spacing here is the other problem. And then, of course, you got to make sure you can tighten this thing down and make sure that your guard is large enough. So be aware of those issues. Make sure the one that you get to is flush here. Make sure there's no play in this. I have seen some reviews where there is some play in that. You don't want that. Make sure that disc is on there very secure. So, guys, thanks for watching. That's all I've got for you today. And I don't know, xlock, the saga continues here. So I'm happy to continue going with the xlock stuff. Interesting, though, guys. But thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day.